And welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the final webinar, number 5 in our Tag Everything series. And if this is your first webinar, thanks so much for joining us. I know there's a lot of people who have seen every single webinar, and thanks for however much time you've spent with us, for watching the recordings on YouTube, on our website. We have just been so blown away by all of the feedback we've gotten and received and the response. So thank you again for being part of this community. And the agenda today is a little bit different. I'll start with some housekeeping stuff in just a moment. And then Darwin is going to be presenting today about a system you can use to tag things and really make the most of WayAround. And we'll talk a little bit more about the detail types. At the end, we will have a time for questions, and thanks to a suggestion by Chris from Massachusetts, we're going to spend a little bit longer. And every webinar so far, we've run out of time, and there's been a number of questions. So we will stay on a little bit longer and hopefully get a bunch of questions answered. And if you're not able to stay, feel free to drop off. But if you do have a question, feel free to stick around. And last week, I forgot to mention at the end of the webinar, the More Tags coupon code, which will get you 20% off your total purchase of WayAround products. That includes the Way link. It also includes all the different types of Way tags. If you're in the US, you can use it on wayaround.com. You can also use it with a number of our distributors, people who have presented on this webinar series like AT Guys, Canadian Assistive Technology, Brian's Quest in the UK. Independent Living Aids is another one. So if you're looking for Way tags, we can help you find Way tags wherever you are in the world. A lot of our distributors do ship internationally. Again, that is the code MORE TAGS, all together as one word, and that will get you 20% off your total purchase. And that code is good through June 3rd, next Wednesday. So I will dive into a few housekeeping things. First of all, we are recording these webinars, so people who can't be on this call are able to watch later. You know, in the States, it was a holiday yesterday, and a lot of people are getting caught up after a long weekend. So the recordings will be on our YouTube channel within a day or two. We'll also send out an email whenever the recording is ready with a bunch of links and resources that we've mentioned during this webinar. And we are providing an audio-only version for anyone who is hearing impaired or would prefer an audio-only version. It's available on that webpage that we email out, but if you're not able to access it, send me an email and I can get you a link to the direct file. And we're asking people to turn off your cameras to help with bandwidth. Beth, who works for WayAround, is going to help manage that. So if we see that a camera has accidentally gotten turned on, we'll just help you. We can shut that off through our admin controls. The same with muting. We've muted everyone. You can unmute yourselves if you have a question. We'd ask that you raise your hand. You can raise your hand by, on a Mac, it's Option Y. On a PC, it's Alt Y, and on a phone, it's *9. And you can also lower your hand if somebody else has asked the same question as you. When I call on you, I will unmute you, and if you've muted yourself, you may also need to unmute yourself. Those commands on a Mac are Command-Shift-A, on a PC it's Alt-A, and on a phone it's *6. And again, I'll help you with that if you have any trouble. We do have the chat open. You can chat with the co-hosts at any time, and we can get back to you or answer your question on the live recording. So, with that, that is all of the housekeeping. Like I mentioned today, Darwin is going to demonstrate how to get detailed information about a product into WayAround. And some of this has been created actually during this webinar series by suggestions that users have sent to us. So thanks to all of you who have really helped to make this a great webinar. We're going to discuss today a system of using WayAround in your kitchen. Storing Way tags after you use a product, creating a shopping list, and then how to place your Way tags back on products. So it's really, once you have the information in there, you can come up with a system that'll be really efficient for you. So with that, Darwin, I'll turn it over to you and let you take it from there.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. This is actually going to be a joint presentation with Jessica and me. She is going to share her iPhone so that you'll be able to see the screen when we're talking through how to get information into WayAround. So Jessica, why don't you do that? Share your iPhone screen, and let's see if we can see it and hear it. Voiceover.
All right. It's coming up.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay, and I'm going to turn on voiceover.
Voiceover on. WayAround.
Very good. I hear that.
Okay.
Okay, Jessica has a can that she scanned, I believe it was last week, and I'm going to ask her to scan that again. First off, you're going to have to open up WayAround, so double click on the WayAround icon.
WayAround. Web dialog. Welcome to WayAround.
And to do that, she is just going to, well, Jessica, why don't you first swipe through all the different pieces on the main screens, just for those that are
Scanner ready, press the read
WayAround.
button below. Then hold the top part of your phone on the way tag until you feel a double click. Read button. Create button.
So you see there's very few things on this main screen. The main two buttons are the read button and the create button. And once you've actually read a tag, there will be one more button that is edit. But since we've not read a tag yet, there is not an edit button. And on the Android, there is not a read button because the Android just automatically reads. You don't have to select the read button to do that. So Jessica, why don't you go ahead and read the can that you have, the way tag that you have, and we'll see what that has to say.
Great.
Read button. Alert. Ready to scan. Ready to scan. Portofino solid albacore tuna in extra virgin olive oil. With sea salt. Italian style. Net WT 4.5 ounces, 128 G.
Okay, that is the description field. And when you read a tag, the only thing that WayAround speaks is the description field. There's more information down below that we'll get to here in just a second, but we wanted to have just enough information when you scan the tags to make sure you've gotten the right product or item that you're wanting to find out more information about. If it is the right product or the right information or location, you can swipe right to get to more information. So Jessica, would you do that?
Sure.
Dietary information gluten-free. Certifications non-GMO certified. Purchase date May 5th, 2020. Best before January 15th, 2023. Directions for me. Product information. Link.
Okay, so each of those pieces of information, the first 4 or 5 are part of a detail type that is very specific to groceries. We'll show you that in just a minute. And then the bottom one there is a custom field that you can enter anything you want. Here we have entered a very specific URL to get to the products for me, product descriptions. And by the way, I want to say thank you to Bonnie Lucas. I think she's the one that told us about directions for me in our first webinar. And as we've looked at that, that's a really good website. We'll find out more about that in a minute. So Jessica, I think the first thing we want to do is just go ahead and just let's look at that directions for me website just briefly so we can see what kind of information is there, and then we'll come back and show you how to get all this information in here. So double click on the directions for me product information.
Safari. Reader available.
Okay, so when she double clicked on that link, it took you very specifically to a very specific page about this very specific product. And this is this particular database was developed by an organization of Horizons for the Blind in Illinois. I believe it's in Chicago, that they have developed this to work for people that are blind or have low vision, but it's also just for anybody that can't read that small print on cans and labels. They've done a good job in keeping things very organized in the same manner, the same order each and every time for every product. That's exactly what we are wanting to do also or doing. And so this is one of the reasons I was very excited to see this website. So Jessica, why don't you swipe through the headings just so people can see what all is available at this website.
Sure.
Words. Lines. Speaking rate. Headings. 12 headings. Portofino solid albacore tuna and extra virgin olive oil 4.5 ounces can. Heading level 1. On this page. Heading level 2. Marketing description. Heading level 3. Other description. Heading level 3. Nutrition facts. Heading level 3. Serving size. 1. Heading level 4. Servings per container. Heading level 4. Ingredients. Heading level 3. Warnings. Heading level 3. Distributor. Heading level 3. UPC. Heading level 3. Package data. Heading level 3. White tuna. Extra virgin olive oil. Sea salt.
That wasn't a heading.
Yep. Okay. But you can see there's a wide range of information here. And we're going to show you how to use this particular website here in a minute. But the most important thing is you do not have to type all this stuff in to the different fields for WayAround. We're going to show you how to get directly to a link there. But if there are some fields that you want to put into WayAround, we're going to show you how to copy those and paste them into one of our detail fields also. So at this point, Jessica, go back to the WayAround app.
Certificate. WayAround. WayAround. Heading level 1. Banner. Landmark.
And by the way, there's some of you that may not be real familiar with VoiceOver. This is the text-to-speech engine that iPhone uses. There's TalkBack and also Voice Assistant for Android type phones. We're not going to go with a lot of detail on how to do all this, but Jessica is simply moving around through the screens using gestures of swiping right, going to different modes of editing and selecting text and so forth. So there are things that you can look up if you don't understand VoiceOver. There are ways to do this without being able to see things at all. So,
Darwin, if you could pause for just a moment, somebody's saying that they're not hearing the voiceover. So if a couple people could chat to me, either if you are or are not hearing it, so I can know if we need to do some troubleshooting. Darwin, you're hearing it, is that correct?
I am hearing it.
Okay. Okay, it looks like some people can hear it. So if you're not hearing the voiceover, I would try, thank you so much for those of you who are telling me you can hear it. You might try turning up your volume a little bit. I will also try turning up my volume just to make sure it's as loud as possible. All right.
Just to help a little bit with that, I will try to talk a little bit more about what Jessica's doing and go ahead and state some of the things in brevity about what VoiceOver is stating. If you cannot get on there, do tell Jessica again here in a few minutes. But if everyone can hear it, I would rather just let VoiceOver speak rather than me having to repeat it. It would make for a much better webinar. So, okay, at this point, you can see that at the bottom of the screen, there are 3 buttons. There's a read button, there's an edit button, and there is a create button. Well, she's already used the read button, and she's already swiped through the different fields. So this time, we're going to create a new tag from scratch. When you use the create button, it starts out with a blank field. There's nothing entered at all in the WayAround app to create a way tag, which is a little bit different than edit, which we'll show you in a minute. So Jessica, go ahead and select the create button and double tap.
Create button. Create way tag. Heading level 1. End. Banner.
Okay, so double tapping the create button took us to another screen. This is the create way tag screen. And the very first field that is at the very top of the screen is the description field. So Jessica, swipe right once to get to the description field. There are the description heading.
Description. Heading level 2.
And then swipe one more time to get to the field.
Enter the text you want written to the way tag. Multi-line text field.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. So you heard that it said to write the text that you want to be entered. When we first scanned that can at the beginning, there was a bit of information, and that's what Jessica had typed it in. She typed that in right here. And so one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to we're going to label a very particular item. I have a can of soup here. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic can of soup. So we're going to try to get this information for this can into this particular way tag. So the first thing you need to do is just put the basic information within the description that's going to describe what this product is. So Jessica, just would you dictate into that field, Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic?
Multi-line text field is editing. Enter the text you want written to the way tag. Insertion point at start. Dictate.
Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic.
Multi-line text field. Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic.
Okay, so Jessica just dictated that in there. And you're going to ask me, well, how did you find out that information if you cannot see? Well, we discussed that in webinar 1. JJ gave us a lot of different tools to be able to do that. There's several tools like Seeing AI that you can just read the text, or you can read the UPC code and get just the description. That's really all we need is the description of the product. There's also some remote assistive technology that you can get other people that can see, such as Be My Eyes, Ira, just even using Zoom or your FaceTime, getting someone that you know just to give you that information of what the product is. And if you're going to do that with any of these services or a friend, I would suggest getting half a dozen items together so that they can give you all 5 or 6 of those items. And as they tell you what they are, you can have a tag ready to just dictate that into that tag and write it to that tag and set it on top of that item so you can do 4 or 5 at a time. So after you got that basic information in there, well, now it's time to go and add more detail. So first off, Jessica, I'd like for you to swipe one more time to the detail type field.
Detail type. Select. Pop-up button. Detail type. Select. Pop-up button. Select. Picker item. Adjustable. 1 of 11.
So there's multiple detail types here, and Jessica, I'm going to let you swipe through each one of them. Go pretty slowly so it has a chance to speak each one of them.
Appointment. Artwork. Business card. Cleaning supply. Clothing care. Custom. File. Grocery item. Personal care product. Retail product.
Okay, so each one of these detail types, when you select that, it will bring up a series of other fields that are related to that particular detail type. Jessica, just to show how this works, go up to Files, and let's look at Files briefly.
Retail product. Pick personal care product. Grocery item. File.
And Darwin, can I just mention real quick that there's a couple of people chatting about the speed of the voiceover, and you can make that either on Android with TalkBack or on iPhone go much faster or much slower. So I find that, some people listen to this and they say, oh my gosh, that's so slow compared to how they use it. And other people, it's going pretty quickly. So that is something that you can adjust. And this is the speed we're going to do it for this presentation. So I'm on File now.
Okay. Thank you for that, Jessica.
Button.
Yeah, that
Detail
is a good
type.
point.
File. Pop-up button.
Yeah, there are some people that get it very fast, and so fast that I cannot understand it. And there's some people that want it much slower. So you can set that yourself and control the speed of that. As Jessica selected the file detail type, notice there are some other fields below that. So Jessica, just swipe through those real quickly to just see what the type of details are with a file.
Okay.
File. Heading level 2. Category. Select. Pop-up button. Created date. Pop-up button. Last updated. Pop-up button. Due date. Pop-up button. Other date. Pop-up button.
So those are fields that come up strictly with files. And again, with the select, there may be different things like for your automotive or insurance or health bills, whatever you want to put in there. There's several things to choose from. Those don't relate to our grocery items. So let's go back up and get back to the grocery items detail type.
Okay, and Darwin, after I do that, do you have time for a question?
Oh, sure.
Great. Let me get to grocery, and then Brent, I will unmute you in just a moment.
Due date. Pop-up button. Last updated. Created date. Category. File. Heading level. Detail type. File. Pop-up button. Detail type. File. Pop-up button. File. Picker item. Adjust. Grocery item. Done. Button. Detail
Okay,
type.
and
Grocery
Brent,
item.
I've
Pop-up button.
unmuted you, and it looks like you may need to unmute yourself also.
So, go ahead, Brett.
Brent, let's see, to unmute yourself, Mac, it's Command-Shift-A.
Okay, am I on now?
Yep,
Okay.
there you are.
Yeah, I had a comment and a question actually. The comment was briefly about the voiceover for those who might need help with it. If you go into settings and then go to general accessibility and voiceover, there is a voiceover practice, and you can double tap on that and you can practice any voiceover gestures to get help with that. I don't know what it is for the Android, but the question that I had was about the buttons, and you don't have to answer right now if it's off topic, but I wanted to know about the buttons on like the laundry labels that you'd use the safety pins for, what the best size of stainless steel pins would be for that, if it would be better for the larger pins or small pins, medium pins, which ones would be better for that?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and answer your question pretty quickly here, but basically the medium size or larger pins will work better if the safety pins. But we can discuss that a little bit more in a minute. I'd like to go ahead and continue on showing how to get the details in.
Okay.
And we can talk about that more at the end of our session.
Great, and good tip, Brent, on the voiceover practice. We'll include that in the wrap up.
Yes. Okay, now we're at the grocery items detail type, and notice that there's several other fields below that. So Jessica, let's go through them one at a time and show how these detail types work for grocery items. So swipe down to the first one.
Grocery item. Heading. Dietary information. Select. Pop-up button.
Do you want me to click on that, or you want me to
Yes,
go
go ahead and click on that one.
Okay.
Dietary information. Select. Pop-up button. Select.
And swipe
Picker
through the
item.
fields.
Adjustable. 1 of 15.
And swipe through the
Dairy-free.
fields so we can see them.
Gluten-free. Nut-free. Sodium-free. Soy-free. Sugar-free. Low sodium. Contains eggs. Contains milk products. Contains nuts. Contains salt. Contains shellfish. Contains soy. Contains wheat and gluten.
Okay, so you may already know this information, and if you do, you can go ahead and select it. But if you don't know it, you can just leave it blank or enter something in there for the interim time. I would really suggest leaving it for select if you do not know what it is. So Jessica, just let's go back up and select the select to keep it blank for right now.
Nut gluten select. Done. Button. Done. Dietary information. Select. Pop-up button.
Okay, go to the next one, which is certifications, and double tap there to see
Certifications.
the different
Select.
options.
Pop-up button. Certifications. Select. Pop-up button. Select. Picker item. Adjustable. 1 of 9. Fair trade certified. Fair trades. Halal. Kosher. Dairy. Kosher. Meat. Kosher. Neutral. Kosher. Pareve. Non-GMO certified. USDA organic.
Okay, let's go ahead and select one just so we can see how it works. Go back up to non-GMO certified. Okay, and select that.
Non-GMO certified. Done. Button. Certifications. Non-GMO certified. Pop-up button.
So you see how that was entered into that field, and swipe to the next field. And this
Purchase
is a
date.
purchase date.
Pop-up button.
So go ahead and tap that, Jessica. And
Purchase
notice
date,
that
May 26th, 2020. Pop-up button.
notice that today's date came up. So if you went grocery shopping and you were going to tag a whole series of tags, all you would have to do is go in and select the purchase date. It automatically comes up to today's date. You swipe back to the left to get to done, and you would have that field entered. So Jessica, do that for me.
Done. Button. Done. Purchase date, May 26th, 2020. Pop-up button.
Okay, the next field is the best before. So go to that field, Jessica. And that's
Best
the
before.
calendar.
Pop-up button.
That is a calendar also, and you may not be able to get that information right now. So this is more information that you might want to get when you're using, you've got a sighted assistant to help you, but you simply would select that and be able to go to the calendar and change the date to input the date that is going to be best to use before. So swipe down again through other date and down to the custom details.
Other date. Pop-up button. Add a custom detail. Button.
Okay, first off, the fields that you did not enter anything into, when you write those to a tag and they're blank, they do not show up on the main screen. Therefore, you would not have to swipe through those things if you did not enter in any information. So that keeps the main screen nice and clean. The custom details, and just swipe down a couple more to show the custom links, Jessica.
Add a link. Button.
These two fields that are custom details and custom links, those are fields that are on every single detail type so that you can come back and add the, whatever text that you want, and you can add the URLs, and we'll show you how we got that URL here in a minute. So the custom details and custom links are specific, or they're general for all detail types. The fields that are above that were strictly for the grocery items. And so, Jessica, let's go ahead and write the information that you have so far to your tag.
Okay, I'll hit the right button.
Right button. Alert. Ready to scan. Ready to scan. WayAround. Success. Way tag written. Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic.
And I'll swipe through.
Yes, and notice that when she first
Certifications non-GMO certified.
Go ahead, Darwin.
I was just going to say, notice that when she scanned it, only the description at the top field was spoken, and she has to swipe to get to the other fields. So go ahead and swipe through them.
Purchase date May 26th, 2020.
And so for those of you that do not have voiceover, that you cannot hear it, it swiped through and told us the certifications was non-GMO certified and that the purchase date was May 26, 2020. So far we don't have a whole lot of information, but we have a little bit. So now we're wanting to go and get the information about the URL. And before I do that, I'm just going to stop for a second and see if there's any questions.
Well, Darwin, somebody did suggest that users might need to swipe all the way to the left on the main screen to the user's video screen in order to hear my voiceover. That's a tip from Terry Ann. So thank you. That might help some people. And Brent, it looks like you have another question. I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Brent. Oh, Brent, are you there? All right. Let's see. It is Command Shift A, or on your phone, *6.
Okay, yeah, am I on now?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, my voiceover on my phone when I'm on a seminar is like the voiceover is virtually non-existent, so it's hard to hear what is being said even when no one else is talking. The question that I had is I wanted to know if we can cover how we would, like, if we get like, let's say we get 3 gallons of milk, do we need to create a new tag from scratch for each one, or can we copy like to the clipboard and then add that to a new way tag and just copy maybe an expiration date or something that's changed on a different one? Or because it sounds like it'd be a long process to create a new way tag from scratch for 3 or 6 or whatever cans or.
Yeah, Brent, that's a great question. Darwin, do you want to take it?
You go ahead and answer it, Jessica.
Yeah, so Brent, what I would suggest is you create one tag and then you go down to hit that edit button. All information that you have from the first tag will be there. So if you're wanting to change an expiration date or something, you can edit one field and then you would just write it to a new tag. And that's a great way to copy all of the information from one tag. And you know, if you have 3 gallons of milk or a bunch of different cans of soup, but you have the same kind. So it's, as long as you take the time to create one, but then you can do it over and over again.
And what did you say the process was to create the second one?
Yeah, you cut out, Jessica.
Oh, thank you. So you use the edit button. So you read a tag, hit edit, and then all of that information from the first tag will be there. You can change anything. And then when you write it to a new tag.
Okay, and to do that, you hold the new tag up to the NFC reader?
Exactly, that's it.
All right.
Yeah, really good question.
All right, thanks a lot.
Very good question. Yes.
And Darwin, we have 2 more, one from Ariana and then one from a 207 number. Why don't we take those and then we can continue on?
Okay.
Ariana, you are unmuted. Except there you go.
It popped up an alert. That must be a new update. That's pretty cool. It said the host unmuted you, and now you need to unmute yourself, and it was a pop-up, which is pretty cool because half the time I forget. I just want to make sure I understood that process because I had that question too, like, oh my God, this is going to take forever, especially if you have a ton of information on. I go to Trader Joe's a lot, and I like to put in all the stuff, especially since my husband's got a slight coconut allergy. And I want to be absolutely certain that anything I give him doesn't have that.
Sure.
But you write the information to one tag and then you hit edit?
Yes. So when you hit, yeah, go ahead, Ariana.
Like, why do you need to hit edit?
So when the create button will have all blank fields. When you hit edit, it keeps all of the information from the tag you just read. So if you have, you know, a bunch of soup, you know, some is cream of mushroom with roasted garlic and some is regular cream of mushroom soup. You might want to use the edit, and then you can just add in, you know, the roasted garlic or delete it out. And then you save it to a new tag. So it's basically copying all of the information to a new tag.
Oh, so you scan the first one, then you edit, then you change whatever you need to. Can you leave it the same if it's the same?
You can leave it the same.
And then when you hit right, you hold up a new tag.
Exactly.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yep,
Thank
you
God.
got it. You're very welcome. Good question. So let me see. It is a 207 number. Go right ahead.
Hi, thank you. This is Margaret up in Maine. I was just wondering, hi, thank you. It's a wonderful presentation. But I was just wondering, for those who haven't had the privilege of having all this explained as you both are doing, is there something that comes with the product or some place on your website, which I should have looked at and haven't yet, where it's kind of explained how to do this so that you don't buy the tags and say, oh, gee, you know, now what?
Yes, yeah, that's a really good question, Margaret. So if you go on our website, we have a help center. It has FAQs and it has a user guide that's step-by-step instructions for getting started. A lot of the instructions, I'll admit, are for iPhones, and we are working on getting separate instructions up for all of our Android users. We're having more and more Android users. We also have a YouTube channel that has some instructional videos, and we will be adding more instructional videos from this webinar series. So it's WayAround on YouTube. That's another great resource.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, there's some really good videos on that on our WayAround channel. There's one that's about 15 minutes long that I forgot the name of that, Jessica. Do you remember who did that?
Vision Forward up in Milwaukee, I believe.
Yeah, that's a really good video. It's about a 15-minute video that's going through the same things that we're going through right now. And he does it, he just does a very good job on that. And so if you'll watch that, I think you'll see all these and you can stop it, go back, stop it and go back. So yes, that's a very good video. One of the things I've been contemplating, and I think I'll go ahead and do this probably within the next several days, when you purchase way tags, if you scan that way tag in the top left-hand corner of the package, you can get information. And I think I'll just go ahead and add the link to that video to our way tag packaging so that you can get directly to that without having to go through any app or even going onto the YouTube channel. So good question.
All right, we have some other questions, but why don't we go a little further in the demonstration and then we'll take some more questions.
Okay, so we're going to demonstrate now that edit. We had very good questions. A while ago when we started with the create button, it just started with blank fields. And like we've been talking, we're going to select the edit button so that you can see all the information that you've just written is still into this field. If you had scanned another tag, it would get that information from that tag. So you would have to go back and scan this tag again if you wanted to edit this tag. But it's the information that was last scanned, whether that's being written or read. So at this point, it's already scanned and in the database here for this particular session. And so just go to the edit button and double click.
Edit button. Edit way tag, heading level 1, and banner.
You can see all the information is still there. But what we want to do now is we want to add the URL to get to this very specific product. So swipe down to the custom links.
And Darwin, I'm going to go a little bit quickly to swipe down just so we can get there, but I will pause long enough so that people can hear that the information is there. Description,
heading level 2, Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic. Detailed type, grocery item. Dietary information, certifications, non-GMO certified. Purchase date, May 26th, 2020. Best before, pop-up button. Other date, pop-up button. Add a custom detail, button.
So we want to go to the next one, which is a custom link.
Add a link, button.
We will come back in a minute to add some custom details, but right now we're just going to add this link to be able to get directly to that Directions for Me website, to that very specific product. So go ahead and select the add button there.
Multi-line text field is editing, link text, character mode, insertion point at start.
So when that button was clicked, it brought up two fields. The first one is the label. The second one is the actual URL. When I talk about label, this is what you will see on your screen. It's not very fun to be able to read those HTTPS, www. whatever. And it's very non-informative. So you're able to type in here whatever it is that you're going to. So Jessica, type in Directions for Me product information.
And I'll just dictate that.
Oh, sure.
Dictate.
Absolutely.
Directions for Me product information. Okay.
Okay, so now go to the link URL field.
Link URL, multi-line text field.
Okay, well, we don't know what that field is yet for this particular product. So to do that, we're going to have to go into Safari or whatever your web browser is and get to the Directions for Me web page. So Jessica, why don't you open up your web browser and go to that Directions for Me site.
Safari, format options, button. Actions available.
Okay, and I think I'm on Directions for Me, still the can of tuna that I just scanned.
All right. That website, the actual URL is directions for me, all one word, .org. And so anybody that wants to get to this website, that's all you have to do is type in directionsforme.org. Now, once we've gotten there, there you have a search field. It's the only search field, it's the only field on the screen. And so Jessica, if you will get to that search field.
Words, lines, speaking rate, headings, text fields. One text field, search, text field, search, landmark.
So notice Jessica was able to get to the text field. She used her rotor to get to text fields. There was only one text field on this screen, so she was able to get to it immediately. So now we're wanting to find the product that we're wanting to tag here. So we're going to put in that name of Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. So if you dictate
Search,
that into
text
this.
field, search, landmark, insertion point at end. Dictate.
Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic.
And then hit the search button.
Search, button, search, reader available.
So it came up with, I believe it's 3 different options here for that particular type of cream of mushroom soup. So Jessica swiped through those just to see what the options are for these 3.
Words, lines, speaking rate, headings. Search results for Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. Campbell's soup cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. Heading level, Campbell's condensed soup cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. Heading level 2, link, Campbell's registered condensed cream of mushroom with roasted garlic soup, 10.5 ounces. Can, heading level 2, visited, link.
Okay, so there's 3 different products. It looks like they're all the very same product. And so it really won't matter which one we select. If Jessica had just typed in Campbell's cream of mushroom, there would probably be 40 or 50 products, and then you'd have to swipe through all those to get it. So the more information that you can put in that search field, the more it's going to limit the number of options that come up here. So once you've got these 3 options here and you're on the one that you think that's the information that you want to get, all you have to do is double click it. So do that, Jessica.
Campbell's registered, reader available, format options, button.
So how about that? It came up to the very specific product that we want here. And so go ahead and swipe down through the headings again, and let's go down to find the directions, and we're going to copy the directions for this. Well, I guess right now we're going to get the URL, aren't we? So go to the URL field up there, and we're going to copy
Address,
that.
Derationsformer.org, not secure. Text fields, words, lines, speaking rate, headings, text fields, 12 headings, 1 text field.
Do I go ahead and double tap that?
If you're just tap that yes to make that selection active. Tap that field.
Address, text, characters, words, text selection, speaking rate, headings, typing mode, edit, cut,
Okay.
copy,
Okay, I'm going to copy it.
Yes. And double tap it.
Okay.
So I'm presuming it copied it. Sometimes it will speak it, so I'm not sure that it got copied.
Let's try.
paste, copy.
I'm hearing a little click.
Okay, go over to the WayAround page by swiping with 4 fingers.
Back to WayAround home button. Link URL. Multi-line text field.
Now
Directions for me product info. Link URL. Multi-line text field. Insertion point at end.
You want me to paste it in there?
And go ahead and paste it in.
Words. Characters. Edit. Undo. Select all. Paste. http://www period derationsformer period org /item /10803599 24 point.
Okay, so we copied the URL from the Directions for Me website of that very specific product of the Campbell's cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. And so now we've pasted it into the custom link field. And so now we're going to write this information back to the way tag so we can see what we've done.
Okay.
So go ahead and do
Done.
that, Jessica.
Button. Done. Multi-line text field. Right. Button. Alert. Ready to scan. Ready to scan. WayAround. Success. Way tag written. Campbell's cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic.
So swipe down to that field that we just added, Jessica.
Certifications non-G. Purchase date May 26th. Directions for me product information. Link.
So notice it put the label that we put on there. It did not list all the www dot whatever. It gave us some information here so you know exactly where you're going. And so double click that, Jessica. Let's make sure that we can get back to that particular item in the directions for me website.
Reader available. Reader available. Website not secure. Website not secure. Reader available. Safari. Format options. Button. Actions available.
Okay, so it got us back to where we needed to be. And so I'm going to stop here just a second to see if there's any questions before we go on.
Well, Darwin, there's a couple of people who are chatting. Several people are voiceover power users. Ariana is saying you can copy a link by going to the share button and pressing copy link. So there's all sorts of ways that you can do this and speed it up. And so thank you. That's a great suggestion, Ariana. And somebody else suggested using that custom link field for a recipe. If you know you're going to use an ingredient or a product in a recipe, you could go ahead and put that in. So very good suggestion. And
that's very, yeah. In fact, on that custom link, you can add multiple custom links. So very good idea. Having one to get to all of the information about the product. You may have another one that's recipes. In fact, you could copy 2 or 3 recipes. So you can just keep adding as many custom links as you desire. And that way you can go directly to whatever that website is just by double tapping on the screen of WayAround. Great idea, great suggestion.
And Darwin, we have 3 questions. Tony is up first. Tony, go right ahead. And looks like you might still be muted. There you go.
There we go. There we go. You were talking about envision or seeing something. I can't remember what do you called it. Something.
Seeing AI.
Yeah, there is one for Android too called Envision AI, and it does the same thing.
Perfect.
Also, Google, look out when you copy that link, Jessica. Can you do that in the Android version too? Can you put all that stuff into the Android tag on the Android version? Can you do all the same stuff that you're doing here?
Yes, the talkback commands may be a little bit different, but yes, all of these options are exactly the same on the Android.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, you might want to. Okay, well, thank you. I was just wondering because that'd be nice. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And Tina and Tony, who were on earlier in this series, are always reminding me to not forget the Android users. So thank you, Tony. And like I said, we are going to put some more helps and videos out just for Android users. So stay tuned for that. Diana, you are up. Diana, you can unmute yourself on the Mac, option Y. Oh, excuse me, Command Shift A. And if you're on a PC, it's Alt A.
There you are.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, my question was before you went to put the website for the instructions for me. I was just wondering if you could scan that information directly from the product box, for example, or can, or whatever the product has in it. But I don't think we can do that, can we? We just have to dictate it.
Diana, do you mean scanning a barcode?
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Yeah, let me answer that, Jessica. There's multiple options of getting the information in. One, if those directions are on the can, you can use some of the apps that were mentioned, both for Android and for iPhone. You know, just go to those particular apps and use a text reading option on those particular items. And if once you've got that text read into those apps, you can just copy that information and paste it back into our detail text field. You would not type it into the URL field because the URL field is specifically to get to URLs. But we'll show you here in just a second how to put text directly into that. So you can do that. Another thing that you can do is if you can scan the UPC code and get the very specific code, There are some apps that will take you directly to a website. There's one that's called Smart Label. That Smart Label is put out by the grocery stores themselves, and they are linked directly to the manufacturers, and they're updating their information. Gosh, every time I go to a particular item on them, they are updated within the last 2 to 3 weeks. So you can do the same thing with going to Smart Label, smartlabel.com, and you can type in the product code. In fact, even with directions for me, if you can get the actual code, on that search field that Jessica was at earlier, you can just copy and paste that UPC code in there, and it'll go directly to the product, and you won't even have to go through that middle step of selecting one of 2 or 3. So
and
yes,
Darwin,
there's multiple ways to get the information in.
And Darwin, I think the other part of Diana's question that I heard is it automatic? And it's not automatic yet. You know, we started with, you had to enter everything yourself, and then people started teaching us how to, you know, copy and paste from all different sources. So there's some really great sources. People are saying, you know, use Ira, use Be My Eyes to get that information in there. Because this is a cloud-based system, ultimately we can do integrations or connections with any other cloud-based system. So that is definitely something that we're looking into, and that will make it, Diana, as you said, it'll be much more automated to where you could, you know, scan a code or something. So not yet, but hopefully in the future.
Okay, that would be, you just got it. Yeah, that would be my question. But I appreciate what Darwin was saying. And I mean, there's so much information. I have to go over it again. Yeah, it's a lot, but yeah, this is pretty useful. But I'd like to, I can't wait until you guys make it automated. That would be much easier, much simpler too. I mean,
Great.
especially for blind people, but that's appreciated. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Diana.
Jessica, let me add to that one little bit here. In fact, we have already incorporated that technology into WayAround. On the detail types, we're looking at the grocery items right now. If you go to retail products, there is a field that is a UPC screen reader. And when you go into that, there's a camera that you can click, and it will actually read a UPC code, or it will read any of the other types of codes that you can just scan in, and it will input that number. We have created about 50 to 100 products where we've put that information in for those products just to understand the concept. And so what we've done for those 50 to 100 products is that when you scan that particular product and then you write it to the tag, all you've written is that UPC code, but when you write it to the tag, all of that product information just comes up, just like it was here with the directions for me. So it's not a matter of having to go to different websites to get that. It will work. It's the next step for us is to work with the different databases. We looked at creating our own. There are multiple databases that are out there and available. A lot of them charge. And we're trying to find something that will have the best rate to do that. And we may end up even doing a crowdsourcing where people enter some of this information and it gets that information that we just created our own database. But we do have that technology already developed. It's just a matter of creating the database.
Yep. And Darwin, just to reiterate, that's very much kind of, it's live for anyone, iPhone or Android, to play around with. It's the retail product detail type. The barcode scanner is, it's not optimized for people with vision loss. It's very much a beta type detail type that we have, but you can go in and play around with it and give us any feedback as long as you understand it's very much in the beta. So Darwin, we have about 5 minutes left until we're at the hour, and we did tell Patricia that she would be our third question. So I'll go ahead, and Patricia, you are unmuted.
Hi. A couple of my questions were already answered, thank you, but I do have one more. When you were in that one part, it was saying, I didn't know if I heard it correctly, GMO detail?
Yes.
What does that stand for?
Sure. GMO is, what is it, genetically modified So it's a certification that some people, you know, want to eat only non-GMO, non-genetically modified foods. And so if
Okay.
that's something that's important to you, you could, you know, go through and label your non-GMO cans. It's just what we happen to use for this example.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right.
I had
Oh,
presentation.
great. Patricia, did you have one more question or was that
Oh,
it?
I was gonna say thank you. I really enjoyed all the presentations and I learned a lot.
Oh,
And I
good.
was waiting for the last one to see what I wanted to order, you know. So thank
Okay.
you.
You're
I did
very
order
welcome.
some tags, but great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And someone is saying that it is smartlabel.org, not .com. So thank you
Okay.
for that correction.
Thank you.
Directionsforme.org, smartlabel.org. They're both .org. And non-GMO is non-genetically modified organism. Thanks, Ariana, for looking that up for us. So Darwin, we have about 4 minutes left for the official part of this webinar. Do you want to do one more piece of this?
No, why don't you go ahead and do the wrap up for those that need to leave, and any of you that need to leave, you can go ahead, but we're going to continue on for a little while. We've got some more things that we can show here, but let's go ahead and wrap it up just for those that need to leave.
Great. Well, thank you again for all of those who have tuned in to, you know, this webinar, other webinars, who have watched us on YouTube. And sorry, there was a little bit of background noise. You can follow us on YouTube. You can go to our website, wayaround.org. Again, if you want to try out WayAround, use the code MORETAGS to get 20% off anything on our website, including the Way link. So it's that's a product that rarely goes on sale. 20% off is a great thing to take advantage of if you're curious about that. You can also use that code MORETAGS. More, MORETAGS, all one word. You can use it at AT Guys, at Canadian Assistive Technology, Brian's Quest in the UK. Those have all been people who have been on previous webinars. That code is good through June 3rd. That's next Wednesday. So go ahead and try out some WayTags if you're curious. And you can also, we really appreciate if you rate us on the Apple App Store, on the Google Play Store. We love getting good star ratings. If you're thinking, gosh, I have some feedback, please send us an email. connect@wayaround.com will end up right in my inbox. And I have been getting flooded with emails after these. So thank you to everyone who has reached out. And I try to get back to people as fast as I possibly can. But send me an email, and we really take the feedback that we get seriously. So thank you again to everyone. It is, we're a minute or so early. Darwin, if you want to say anything else before we wrap up, and then we can stay on for some other questions. And you've got a bunch of hands up.
Yes, in this after hour, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to copy text. We copied the URL. We're going to copy text into a detailed text field, and so that you can see any type of information you want directly without having to go to the website. And we'll just do one example of that. We're going to also talk about what do you do after you've got everything tagged. And so now you're starting using products, and you've consumed that product. So what do you do with your Way tag? How do you get that into a shopping list? How do you once you've gone and shopped for those products, how do you get the tags back on the items? So we're going to talk about that briefly in the after hour session. So appreciate everybody staying so far, and if you can stay longer, we will continue here.